Hi everyone, and welcome to another in the series of videos covering the main topics in how to use Foxtrot NDIS to manage your NDIS supports. This video covers the topic of the customer search and the customer record. So in this video, I will take you through 3 different ways that you can search for a participant that we created in an earlier video, and then we'll open up that participant's record and we'll have a look at, step through that record, and I'll show you where the information can be found there. So to get going, let's get started by logging into Foxtrot. When we first log in, Foxtrot takes us to the customer search screen, and the participant we added earlier, their name was Jill Lynch. So we simply start typing in their surname. After we've typed a few letters, if we spell it correctly, after we've typed a few letters, it finds them and we select them and open their record. Now, if I go back to that customer search and show you a few alternatives there, obviously, if we know their customer ID, we can search using that. If we don't know their surname, but we know their given names, we can search with that. We can use an advanced search, which gives us a bunch more fields. So if we know their NDIS number, for example, but we don't know their name, we could search just using their NDIS number. And I'll take it back to the regular cut down search. And the third method of opening a record is probably the one you'll use most, is recent searches. So this contains a list of the last 20 participants that you've had open in the system. So if you're working with those people again that you've had open recently, as you can see Jill Lynch there at the top, then you can just use recent searches, and you can do that from pretty well anywhere in the Foxtrot system. There's usually a recent searches list down the bottom of the screen, so you don't have to come back to this search window. So I'll select Jill Lynch from here and open her customer record. And when we open the record, you can see in front of you that there are a number of tabs, each of which contains a different category of information about our participant. And the first tab we come to is the summary tab, which contains, as the name suggests, kind of summary information. So we can see, for example, that our participant has a status of participant. So the difference between different sorts of customers is their status. So to explain that a little further, any person or organization can be a customer. So a customer could actually be a plan manager, it could be a support coordinator, it could be a GP, or it could be a member of staff or a participant. And so the status will tell us, well, what sort of a customer are we working with here? And in this case, we're working with a new participant we added earlier, Jill Lynch. Here's her NDIS number. There's a bunch of custom fields on this summary tab, and that's worth talking about because these fields are customizable, hence the name custom fields, which means that we can add or remove fields from this area according to your needs. So if there's other information you wish to have shown prominently, or you don't need a lot of these fields, then we can easily make modifications to this custom fields area at your request. So stepping across the tabs, we'll just go through them one by one and we'll talk about each one as we come to it. The name and notes tab at the moment contains one name, but there could be aliases, and we could add them by clicking add alias names. We didn't in the intake process indicate that Jill was a female, so I'll do that. And there's an area here where we can add one important note if there's something that everyone working with Jill should be aware of. So let's say she's got a big dog. So that's something you might want to be aware of if you go visiting her place. And so to make sure that people don't miss that, we can make it an alert note so that it pops up whenever anyone opens Jill's customer record. And I better just save that. So on each of these screens, we need to save before we move on, otherwise it'll get lost. And moving across, address, here's Jill's address, add new address. We could add the address of her parents or other friends and family. Comms is phone numbers and internet address or email addresses. You can see here that currently we have 3 phone numbers entered for Jill, as well as 1 email address. So if we want to add another phone number, let's say we want to add the phone number for a father. So let's say it's a mobile number, and it's a private mobile number, and let's give it a label so that we can recognize it in the list. This is Jill's father, Bill. And there he is, added to the list of phone numbers. So these phone numbers basically, and the email addresses should be those for all of Jill's family and friends, as well as her own. Any professional contacts we'll deal with later, because what we'll do with those is we'll create a relationship to that professional contact, and their phone number will be picked up that way. Groups is a tab. A group is a group of customers. So the reason we can add people into a group, and the reason you would want to do that, is because once in a group you can send an email to all the members of the group, or an SMS. You could send a newsletter to the group, or you could produce a report on a group of people, or you might just want to indicate something about the person by adding them to a group, such as they might be the group of customers, which a group of participants who have a particular support coordinator. Financials, invoices and receipts, which we'll look at later when we get on to that part of the system. Docs is documents, and we can upload documents here. Why would we want to upload documents? It's kind of a documents management facility so that we can upload a document and thereby share it with other users of the system who have access to this particular screen. Also, once uploaded, of course, the document is secured in the database, and we can choose whether that document is private and or confidential, so we can restrict who can see it. So I've already uploaded the birth certificate there. So to upload a document, you come down to upload file and you click browse to find the document. Document could be a Word document, a PDF, it could be a picture or a video, or any kind of media like that. So I'm going to see if I can find something NDIS documentation. Yeah, maybe there's something here I can upload. Documents to upload, of course. So let's, for whatever reason, let's say we want to upload a document. And we can make that document private and or confidential. We can actually add it to the click bar so it becomes very prominently visible from the Foxtrot main screen. We can add a description, and we can put tags there. So if you have a lot of documents uploaded for a particular participant, you can add a tag so that document can be more easily searched for and found. But I won't do those things now. I'll just upload that document, and we should see it appear in the list of documents. There it is. And now anyone who has the access to log into Foxtrot can download and view or save that document. Notes, we'll come back to later. Essentially, that's where you record supports provided to your participants. Appointments is an area where you can, if you wish, create appointments between practitioners and participants. Shifts, if you want to use rostering, you'll be using that tab, but we'll skip over these now. Plans is client plans. There's a whole video around that topic, so we'll skip over that. And under the More drop-down, there's a bunch more tabs, effectively. Now, a couple of important ones there that I'll just point out at this time are relationships, which again is the subject of another video. We will create relationships to plan manager, support coordinators, GPs, especially plan managers is important if you want to, if they're plan managed. And the other interesting thing here is customer data. I'll click on that and we'll open that particular part of the system, and you can see here that actually customer data allows us to add other screens according to your requirements. So if you have a record of information that you want to store in Foxtrot, but we don't have anywhere to store that at the moment, we can add another record for you. So there are effectively 7 different screens here, and you can access those different screens by clicking on the different radio buttons here. So in this case, it's 7, but there can be, whatever you need. I think the system comes out of the box with 4 of these screens. In fact, it does, the first 4. And you can have an incident report if you want it, and whatever else you need to extend the system to exactly what you require. So that's how you search for a customer, and that is essentially the information we store in the system about the customer. I think that's about all we need to say at this time. Just looking up above that, I suppose we could point out that we have here some high-level information about Jill's details, a summary, if you like, and recent activity, a list of things that have happened recently with the customer record, as well as information about her client plan, but we'll talk more about that later. So that's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful, and let's catch up somewhere further down the line.